Hello everyone. Good Shepherds High School, Belapur. Welcome you all for online learning session. Standard 6th, Subject General Science, Unit 1, Topic The Natural Resource Air, Water and Land. Today we are going to learn about the natural resources. What are our natural resources? Air, water and land. Observe, they have said that they have shown one figure 1.1 sphere of the earth. Observe the picture alongside and answer the question. Where do we see the birds? We see birds in the sky. Where is the cow grazing? Cow is grazing in the meadow. Locate the trees and the road. You have to observe this. Where does the river come from? How does it flow? It comes from the hills and then it flows in the river from through village. Where is the aeroplane? In the sky. Where are the fish seen? In the water. On what is the sailboat floating? On the river water. Correct? So this is sphere of the earth. Up is atmosphere, water hydrosphere and down lithosphere. Children, you all know there are 5 layers of the atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere and exosphere. You all know, last year you all have studied. Okay, now we'll come to the topic natural resource. I will read the whole paragraph for you all children. Okay, and then in a brief I will explain. Got it? Natural resource. You can see that some things in the picture are in water, some on land and some in the sky, that is in the air. Thus all things on the earth are associated with, these all things are associated with air, water and land. Air, water and land are called the earth's atmosphere. I will repeat again. Air, water and land are called the earth's atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere respectively. Air comes in atmosphere, water comes in hydrosphere, land comes in lithosphere. Moreover, different living things occupy these 3 spheres of the earth. These living things and the parts of the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere which they occupy are together called the biosphere. Yes, in biosphere what comes? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. These spheres have formed on the earth naturally. We have learnt all this in the previous standards. The atmosphere is the layer of air that surrounds the earth. The surface of the earth comprises water and land, that is hydrosphere and lithosphere. Okay children, atmosphere up in the air. Okay, and the surface of the earth comprises water and land, that is hydrosphere and lithosphere. Of these, the hydrosphere occupies a much larger part than the lithosphere. See in the figure 1.2, hydrosphere means water is how much in the on the world, on the earth? 71%, and land is only 29%. Okay, we also look upon these natural components in solid, liquid and gaseous form resources. Okay, in other words, we use them to fulfill our requirements. Let us now study all these 3 components in detail. What? Solid, liquid and gaseous. Okay, first let me tell you all this highlighted portion. Let me read. Air, water, and land are the factors important for sustaining the living world. Sustaining means helps to survive the living world on the earth and for fulfilling their basic needs. They are called natural resources. So, air, water, and land is called natural resources. Okay, children, I read for you all this page. Now, in a brief, the spheres on the earth is there are three main spheres on the earth. These are hydrosphere means water, lithosphere land, and air atmosphere. In all of these spheres, living organisms are seen. In the water also you see living organism, land also, and in the air also. The living organisms together in all these three spheres constitute biosphere. These three spheres makes biosphere, children. Okay. Second point, let me explain you that 71% of the earth's surface is formed by hydrosphere, while 29% is that of the lithosphere. I will repeat it again. 71% of the earth's surface is formed of hydrosphere means water, while 29% is that of the lithosphere. Got it, children? So we come to know that air, water, and land are the important natural resources, and because of these resources only we are surviving. Due to these natural resources, all the basic needs of the living world are fulfilled. Therefore, for survival of life, for survival of a human being or living things, these all are very important. Natural resources are very important, children. Got it? Now, here, can you recall they are saying last year the question they are asking, what are the 5 layers of the atmosphere? First only I said the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, exosphere are the 5 layers of the atmosphere. Okay, now we'll read about the air as an atmosphere. Okay, I will read for you all this. The air in the atmosphere around the earth contains what? What it contains? It contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particle. So, atmosphere contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. Okay, children, now that inert gases you all know, helium, neon, krypton, xenon, they are inert gases. Okay, now the troposphere contains about 80% of the total mass of gases in the air, while this proportion is about 19% in the stratosphere. Further, in the mesosphere and ionosphere, the proportion of the mass of gases goes on decreasing. Gases are not found in the exosphere and beyond. Beyond the exosphere, you will not find any air. Okay, you can see that the air is a mixture of several gases. See here the picture they have given, proportion of the various gases in the air. Okay, beside this gases, air also contains water vapor and dust particles. The amount of the gases in the air is the greatest near the surface and decreases as we go higher and higher from the surface. That is, air becomes rarer at higher altitudes. That's why you must have seen the mountaineers, those who are climbing on the mountains, they carry cylinder on their back. oxygen cylinder, because as you go higher and higher from the surface, air becomes rarer. Okay, the proportion of the constituents of air and some of their uses are given here. First, we will read this first. Proportion of the various gases in the air. Okay, now see, nitrogen, how much it is? 78%. Oxygen 21% in the air, huh, children? Argon 0.9%. Other constituent of air is 0.07%, and carbon dioxide is only 0.03%. Children, this can come for your exam. This can come in your exams. Okay, so do practice. Now, the proportion of the constituents of air and some of their uses are given here. Some gases. Nitrogen. What is the use of this nitrogen gas? So it helps living things to build the necessary proteins. So nitrogen is also very important like oxygen. It is useful in the production of ammonia, and in airtight packaging of foodstuffs, nitrogen is used. Oxygen, why it is used? Necessary for respiration in living things and for combustion. For fire also oxygen needs. We need oxygen. Okay. Next, carbon dioxide. Plants use it for producing their food. We have learnt from many years, we are learning this only. We exhale our carbon dioxide, and trees, they inhale carbon dioxide and they gives us oxygen, and we inhale oxygen. Like that it is. Give and take. Argon. What is the use of argon? Used in electric bulbs. See your bulbs, in that which gas is there? Argon. Helium. Used for obtaining low temperature and also for generating lifts in airships. This gas is used. Neon is used in decorative lights and for street lighting. Krypton, it is used in fluorescent tube lights. Xenon, used in flash photography. Okay, children. Now, always remember, the living world on the earth is sustained due to the balance between various gases and other constituents of air. The atmosphere is a very important filter. It allows the light and heat of the sun to reach the earth, which is necessary for life. But it prevents the harmful elements from reaching the earth. It is in the atmosphere that fog, clouds, snow and rain are produced. Always remember, children. Now, again, this page I'll read for you all. I'll explain in a brief. Okay. First, our topic is air, right? The air is surrounded by atmosphere, which is the earth is surrounded by atmosphere, which is made up of air. Got it, children? Then air is a mixture of gases. Third, the constituent of air are as follows. Means, what are the constituents of air? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 types of inert gases: nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide and dust particles. Correct, na? These are the constituents of air. Then they have explained the proportion of gases in different spheres of the earth, and they are, what are the spheres of the earth? Troposphere. Now, what is the proportion of the gases there? 80% of the total mass of gases in the air. Okay, children. Stratosphere is 19% of the total mass of gases in the air. Mesosphere, proportion of the gases is less. Ionosphere, still lesser. And exosphere, no gases found. The amount of gases is highest near the surface of the earth. You will get lot of gases. As we go higher and higher from the surface, the proportion of gases goes on decreasing, because air is rarer at high altitudes. Altitude means height. As you go high and high on the mountains, you will get there is a shortage of air, children. Okay, then what we read, constituents of gases in the air, right? Again I'll repeat: nitrogen, building up proteins in living beings, production of ammonia, and what is the use? Airtight packaging of foodstuffs. Nitrogen is used in it. Oxygen is for respiration and combustion. Carbon dioxide is used for photosynthesis in plants and in fire extinguishers. Argon in electric bulbs. Helium, obtaining low temperatures and generating lift in airships. Neon, decorative lights and street lighting. Krypton, fluorescent tubes. Xenon, flash photograph. Okay, children, you understood this much? Yes? Further we will read now. Next page. Oh, see. What is the similarity in the three pictures below? Yes, children. What is the similarity in the three pictures below? Yes. You will find smoke and pollution everywhere from the factories. See, from the chimneys, so much smoke is there. See, from motorcycle, from car, all gases, harmful gases. See, forest fire, all the gases are coming out. Correct, children? Now we'll see, all the above pictures show large scale emission of smoke through different gases, different agencies, means different these pictures are there, no? From agencies means through what smoke is coming or gases is coming, because from factories, from vehicles, from forest fire. Correct. This smoke directly mixes with the atmosphere, disturbing the balance between the constituents of air. This is called air pollution. Harmful gases are given out through combustion of fuels in vehicles and in big industries, and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal. From here also you will get harmful gases. As a result, air pollution is increasing day by day, children. So harmful substances released in the air through combustion of fuels are from vehicles and all. No? What gases are coming out? Nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and soot. Okay, a layer of dark dust. So these are the harmful substances released in air through combustion of fuels, no? Petrol, diesel and all. Okay, children, from that harmful substances are this released in the air. Now next, ozone layer, the protective shell. There is a layer of ozone molecular formula is O3. Ozone gas is the lower part of stratosphere. Ozone gas is not directly useful for the survival of living things. Yet it is very important for living things to have this layer of ozone at a high altitude around the earth. The ultraviolet rays coming from the sun are very harmful for living things. The ozone gas absorbs these rays. As a result, life of the earth is protected. So children, ozone layer is very important Okay, it is like a protective shell. The ozone layer is destroyed if chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride or the chlorofluorocarbons used in air conditioners and refrigerators mix with the air. Now see, these are the two types of chemical gases which, though we are comfortable in AC, though we are happy with the cold water from the refrigerator, but children, this both the things are emitting such a harmful gas, that is tetrachloride, carbon tetrachloride and chlorofluorocarbons. Children, the 16th of September is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day all over the world to make everyone aware of the importance of ozone. Okay, children? Now, do you know in metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune, or Nagpur, boards are displayed at place of heavy traffic to show the proportion of the various constituents of the air at that place. Due to these boards, we can see the amount of harmful elements in the air. See this picture. These boards have been set up where there are heavy traffic, no there, and as that harmful gases arises, this gives the indications what percentage of different types of harmful gases are there in the atmosphere. Got it, children? Next, again about this lesson, this page I read, now I explained, but again briefly I want to explain it. Air pollution. First of all, let me explain you the importance of atmosphere, children. First is sustenance of the living world. Because of atmosphere we are living. Second is light and heat of the sun can reach the earth's surface because of atmosphere only. Prevention of harmful elements from reaching up to earth, thus acting as a important filter. Atmosphere is like a filter. It is preventing harmful elements from reaching up to earth, and it produces fog, clouds, snow and rain. Okay, children? Now, air pollution. Let me explain you all air pollution in brief. When harmful substances produced through the combustion are released into air. When harmful substances produced through combustion are released into the air, it causes air pollution. Okay? Harmful air pollutants are nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and soot. Okay? And then about ozone layer. In the lower part of the stratosphere, there is a layer of ozone, O3. Ozone layer prevents the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun from reaching the earth's surface. Next, the harmful chemicals such as carbon tetrachloride and chlorofluorocarbons can destroy the ozone layer. These gases are used in air conditioners and refrigerators. So children, you should know in air conditioner which harmful chemicals have been used and which in refrigerators. For the awareness of the importance of ozone layer, we celebrate Ozone Protection Day on 16th September every year all over the world. Okay, children? Now, next resources is water. See, observe how much water is used and for what purpose it is used in your house. For a whole day, you only record this chart. Make it and bring it when school will start. Divide the total amount of water used in your house by the number of person to find out how much water each person needs. Okay. You will see that it is almost impossible for us to spend even a single day without water. Yes, obvious. We need to drink 3 to 4 liters of water every day so that all our bodily functions run smoothly. Other living things also require water, although the amount of water they need may vary according to the size of their body. Elephant needs lot water. We are human beings. We need how much water? 3 to 4 liters of water. Thus, we see that water is very important. If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water. It combines with oxygen and water is formed. Let me repeat it. If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water is formed. We have learnt about some characteristics of water in previous standards. Okay. Now, here in the highlighted portion, in nature, water occurs in 3 states. All knows what? Solid, liquid and gaseous. Water does not have color, taste or odor. Odor means smell. Many substances readily dissolve in water. Yes. Therefore, water is called as universal solvent. So, this question can come for your exam. Next is blood of animals and the sap in plants contain a very high proportion of water. The blood of animals means we are also animals, children. And the sap in plants contain a very high proportion of water. No living thing can survive without water. Therefore, it is said that water is life. It can come for give reason. Okay, children. Now observe and discuss distribution of water on earth. Sea and ocean. Correct? Huh? How much is water on the land? We read now, no? How much is water on the land? Yes, children. You all read, no? Here you all have seen, no? Water is 71%, land is 29%. Okay, now we will divide it. See, groundwater, ice and water in other forms, then water available for drinking. This is distribution of water on earth. Okay, now we will read this. Seas and ocean, how much it is? 97%. Okay, now here what will come? 2.7% is what? Yes, children. Children, seas and ocean 97%. Then what is here in 2.7%? What will be there? See, frozen water and groundwater. Okay, frozen water and groundwater. And here water available for drinking fresh water. What will be the percentage here? 0.3%. Correct, no? 97, then 98, 99.7 it was, no? So minus by 100, you will get 0.3. Okay, children, we cannot use all the water on earth because sea water is salty. 97% water it is. Some water is in the frozen state, that is 2.7%. A very small quantity of water is available for drinking, that is how much? 0.3%. Okay, children. Find out in what ways is the water in seas and oceans useful even though it is salty. For transport and for what? For making salt, on the salt pen. Next, Observe and discuss. Do other livings. So, what your for which purpose is water being used? See, for drinking, for swimming, for washing trucks and all. See, factory is using all chemicals, putting all chemicals they are throwing in the river. Yes. See, some are using that water for fields, some are washing utensils, some are washing clothes, some are taking water, filling water also for drinking. Do other living things use water like we do? No. We use water in large quantities, children. We have learned that water on the earth is regulated through the water cycle. The water vapor formed from oceans is the main source of water in the water cycle. It gets converted into rain, creating fresh water sources on earth. Always remember, use water sparingly, limited. Block water, let it percolate. If you will block water, no, it will percolate in the sand, in the soil. Store water wherever possible. Reuse water wherever possible. Remember, stored water does not become stale at once. वो कभी बासी नहीं होता. Got it, children? Next, we get water from natural sources. Yes, what are our natural sources? Streams, jharna, zhare, rivers, ponds, springs, and lakes. Man also digs wells and bore wells to lift groundwater. Apart from this, man has also constructed bunds and dams of various sizes on rivers. बांध घालतात ना रिव्हर्स साईडला, तिकडे पाणी पर्क्युलेट होतो, जमा राहतो. ड्यू टू द अनकंट्रोल्ड यूज ऑफ वॉटर फॉर an increasing population, industry and farming, it is now in short supply. Yes, people, look, population is so much and they are using a lot of water. How water these people will get? So we are a scarce, means we are in a shortage of water. Water scarcity has become a serious problem. That's why we should use water sparingly, children. Okay, now let me read some facts about water. Again, brief idea about water. Water is needed for survival of every living organisms. Amount of water needed for every organism depends on its size of the body. For smooth functioning of our body, we need 3 to 4 liters of water daily. Nowadays we are drinking hot water during lockdown period. Yes. And next is what, children? Natural sources of water is, you all know, streams, rivers, ponds, springs and lakes. And man-made sources of water, wells, bore wells, bunds and dams on the rivers. Okay. Now, uncontrolled use of water. Who is using uncontrolled use of water? Increasing population, Mumbai, highly populated, industries and farming, all are responsible for excessive use of water. And water scarcity is thus a grave problem, serious problem, children. Got it? Now, this topic is over. Now here, what is land made of? Land is made up of soil, rocks, stones, etc. What do you see on this land? What do we see? Mountains, valleys, rivers, ocean, buildings, construction, other construction, bridges, roads, correct, no? Farms, orchards, and some trees on the land, right? What has man created on land? Man has created different types of shelters, correct, no? From hut to bungalows, roads of transport, roads for transport, and agricultural farms on the land. Correct? If a deep pit is dug in the ground, what do you find there? We see different layers of soil. Is land flat everywhere? No, land is uneven. At some places there are mountains and hills, while at some places there are valleys. Does man produce soil or land? No. Man can artificially produce land by reclamation. Reclamation. See, Vashi, Sanpada, Belapur, reclaimed land. खाडीमध्ये पूर्ण भर टाकायचं, रिक्लेम करायचं, आर्टिफिशियली प्रोड्यूस लँड इट इज. गॉट इट? Okay. Now I'll read for you all. Land is seen in the form of stones, soil, big rocks. It is not flat everywhere. It is hilly in some places and flat in others. All terrestrial animals, those who are living on the land and trees, including man, live on land. Some terrestrial dig burrows in the ground for shelter, like rabbits. This means that they use land for fulfilling their need. We also use land for farming and for building houses and roads also. We make use of plants and animals in the forest that grow on land. The minerals, crude oil and natural gas obtained from the earth are very important for us. It means that land is an important resource. Let us see exactly what land is made of. Children, this activity we will do when school will open, that time. Land, the layers of mixture in the bottle, same way our land is also like that only. Okay. Now, the land on earth also looks like this. If a pipeline is being laid in your neighborhood, observe carefully the pits dug for this purpose. You will see some layers under the land surface as shown in the accompanying figure. See this like this also, layers of land. Okay. If the land has a mature soil, the topmost layer is formed by the decomposition of the remains of plants and animals, and this layer is called humus. It is usually found in dense forest. The land below this is full of sand, soil, small stones, worms and insects. Soil and pieces of bedrock are found below this layer of land. This soil is immature. Further, below this layer, the proportion of soil decreases and that of rock increases. This is the layer of bedrock. See down here, bedrock with the stones. The main minerals in the soil are derived from these rocks. That is why soil is different. Soil in different regions is different. The color and texture of soil are both determined by the bedrock. This bedrock, with the help of this only color and texture of soil comes. Got it? Now we will learn about the process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by a natural process. The abiotic components of soil are supplied through the weathering of the bedrock. Weathering means टूटता है ना बारीक बारीक, withering. Due to the heat, cold and water of the sun, wind and rain respectively, the bedrock breaks down into pieces. Stones, sand and soil are formed from these pieces. Microbes, worms and insects are found among them. Rodents like mice and rats are also found here. Roots of trees growing on the land also help weathering of rocks. The process of soil formation is slow and continuous. It takes about 1,000 years for a 2.5 centimeter thick layer of mature soil to form. Okay, children? Now, soil can get destroyed in a short period due to floods, storms, and human activities such as mining. That is why it is necessary to conserve soil and to prevent erosion. Erosion means when it loses the soil, no, then it goes through, it flows in water, in the rainwater and all. Okay, the best remedy for this is to increase the green cover of the land, means we have to plant more and more trees. Erosion of land is reduced if grass, trees, and bushes are grown in it. Okay, children? Now, let me read some highlighted points. Layers of soils. The sequence with which the layers of soils are present from top to bottom are as follows. First, humus, immature soil, layer of soil, and small rocks and bedrock. Humus, yes, means what? The topmost layer of soil is formed by the decomposition of the remains of plants and animals. This is known as humus. And what is immature soil? The layer of land which is full of sand, soil, small stones, worms, and insects is called immature soil. Do you know humus is the layer formed on soil due to the decomposition of dead plants and animals by microbes? Yes, now just now only I read. Humus supplies nutrients to the soil, and this is very useful for planting trees. Humus is also important for aerating the soil and for holding water in the soil. The proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33 to 50%. So humus is very important. It plays very important role. Okay. Now, here. Forest on land got buried underground due to the great upheavals that took place on the earth many ages ago. All forest or land got buried underground because of earthquakes and all. After that, the process of formation of fossil fuels from the remains of living things took place underground. We get fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin, and other useful materials like tar and wax from the fossil fuel called crude oil. It is called as crude oil. Now, living things use land, water, and air available on earth, and so does man. Yes, we also use. However, the proportion of these resources that are actually put to use are very small as compared to the whole earth. See, they have given the table here. Land how much? 29%. Potable air is how much? 0.3%. Oxygen is how much? 21%. Even in these small proportions, the resources shown in the above table are sufficient for all living things. See, potable water, fresh water 0.3%. Then to the whole world is drinking. Oxygen only 21%. Even in these small proportion, the resources, only it is very necessary for man to control his greed. Lalach buri bala hai, thoda control karo. In other words, he must use these resources judiciously, very carefully, with the awareness that they are meant for all other living things and not just for mankind. Here, Institute at Work. India Meteorological Department IMD was established in 1875 for studying the weather in the Indian subcontinent. The main function of this institute is to observe the weather and to make weather forecast. कल बारिश ज़्यादा होने वाली है, धूप इतना टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा. दिस who tells us? IMD, India Meteorological Department. This institute also conducts research related to changes in weather, makes forecast about rains and studies the developments related to global warming. What we have learned? The elements available in nature which fulfill the basic needs of living things are called natural resources. Air, water, and land are important natural resources. Soil has both biotic and abiotic constituents. There are many constituents of air such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, inert gases, water vapor, and dust particles. The ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth. We read now, just now only. Natural resources should be used carefully and sparingly. Here is the exercise. I will dictate the answers. You can note it down. Fill in the blanks. The layer of ozone gas absorbs dash rays that come from the sun of the earth. What is the answer? Sorry. The layer of ozone gas absorbs ultraviolet rays that come from the sun to the earth. Second, of the total water available on the earth, fresh water forms dash percent, 0.3%. Both dash and dash constituents are present in the soil, abiotic and biotic constituents. Okay, children. Why is it said that the ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth? Yes. You can get the answer here. Ozone layer where it is. Children, I will dictate you all. Now here in the textbook is the answer is, but here, this paragraph. Okay. Question is what? The ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth. So there is a layer of ozone gas in the lower part of stratosphere. Ozone gas is not directly useful for the survival of living things, yet it is very important for living things to have this layer of ozone at a high altitude around the earth. The ultraviolet rays coming from the sun are very harmful for living things. The ozone gas absorbs these rays. As a result, life on the earth is protected. Okay. I will dictate for you. It will take a lot of time now. Water is life. Yes. Living organisms. Answer I am saying. Living organisms cannot survive without water. The blood of the animals and sap of the plants also have high proportion of water. Therefore, water is said to be life. It is in the textbook, children. Sea water is useful even though it is not potable. Yeah. Textbook page number 4. I will give you arranged this proper answer here. It is in the textbook also, but I don't have that marker to mark. First point, there are many aquatic organisms in the marine water. Some of these are edible varieties such as fish, crab, prawns, oysters, lobsters, etc. So why it is useful? Seawater is useful even though it is not potable. Yes, it is useful. We get salt, iodine and some other minerals obtained from seawater. Transport of goods and cargo is done via sea routes. The valuable jewels such as corals and pearls are obtained from some of the marine animals. In some countries, potable and usable water is obtained from seawater through a process called desalination. Desalination. All these facts explain to us that though seawater is salty, it is useful. Next is, what will happen if microbes in the soil get destroyed? Sorry. Yes, children. Microbes in the soil get destroyed. What is the answer? Microbes in the soil get destroyed. The decomposition process in the soil is done by the microbes. The withering of rocks is also done to some extent by microbes. Due to lack of decomposition process, the dead and decaying matter will remain scattered everywhere on the earth. That's it. The number of vehicles and factories in your surroundings increases. What will happen? You all know very well what will happen. In vehicles as well as factories, there is a continuous combustion process occurring. Polluting gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, etc. will cause dangerous and harmful effects on the surrounding environment and human beings. That's it. The total supply of potable water is finished. What will happen then? If the total supply of potable water is finished, the living world will also come to an end. Got it? Sorry. Match the column. What is the answer? Carbon dioxide, plants and food production. Oxygen, combustion. Water vapor, rain. Microbes, generation of soil. Name the following constituents of the biosphere: animals and plants. Biotic constituents of soil: microbes, insects, rodents like rats and mice. Fossil fuel: petrol, diesel, kerosene. Inert gases in air: argon, helium, neon, krypton, xenon. Gases that are harmful to the ozone layer: chlorofluorocarbons, carbon tetrachloride. True or false? Land and soil are the same thing. True or false? False. The water in a lake is called groundwater. False. It takes about 1000 years to form 25 centimeter thick layer of soil. False. Radon is used in decorative lights. False. All are false. Explain with the help of a diagram how soil is formed. Children, you have to draw this diagram and this paragraph you have to write it down beside this paragraph. Beside this picture, no? The paragraph is there. This will be the answer for you. Next. Why is there a shortage of water even though it occupies about 71% of the earth's surface? I'll dictate the answer. Though 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, most of this water is not usable and potable. 97% of this water is salty water of the sea. This water cannot be used for agriculture or for drinking, cooking, etc. Some fresh water is in frozen state. Due to tremendous increase in the population, the demand for water is also rising. Due to global warming, there are droughts, सूखा पड़ जा रहा है, and this results in lack of water. Due to all these reasons, there is always a water shortage even though the 71% of Earth's surface is occupied by water. What are the various constituents of air? Write their uses. This table. this you have to write. Okay, you can draw the picture also. Next, why are air, water and land considered to be valuable natural resources? Air, water, land are the factors essential for surviving in living world on the earth. All the essential things required for the survival are obtained through air, water or land. Since by fulfilling the needs of living organisms, they help in survival of all living organisms. Therefore, air, water and land are considered to be valuable natural resources. Dear children, here our lesson gets over.